I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sex.
MotoGP world was once again captivated by Toprak Razgatlioglu's extraordinary performance in the Yamaha 850cc V4 engine test session at the Valencia circuit. After months of struggling to adapt to the characteristics of the MotoGP bike, the Turkish rider suddenly demonstrated a significant increase in speed. Many wondered, what exactly had changed? Why was Toprak now able to perform so much faster than before? The answer, it turns out, wasn't just about the courage to open the throttle earlier. Behind these impressive times, Yamaha introduced a series of technical changes that began to blend with Toprak's signature riding style. The Japanese manufacturer has been steadily developing the V4 project for its future in MotoGP, and various reports indicate that these developments are increasingly focused on adapting to Toprak's trademark aggressive braking and quick changes of direction. Yamaha itself has confirmed its commitment to developing the V4 engine for the new era of MotoGP. In Valencia, the first noticeable change was the bike's balance when entering corners. Throughout the early season, Toprak had repeatedly complained that the Yamaha V4 was difficult to control under hard braking. This prevented him from fully utilizing one of his strongest weapons. Even at the start of the season, he admitted to being frustrated with the bike's braking characteristics. However, in the latest test, the situation changed drastically. Toprak began to gain confidence when entering corners at high speed. The bike seemed much more stable when changing direction, while the rear end no longer lost traction as easily on corner exits. The second factor believed to be the main cause of the performance surge was the use of Yamaha's latest development package for the 850cc bike. The smaller engine does produce slightly lower peak power than the 1000cc bike, but the power character is smoother and more manageable. This allows riders to open the throttle more quickly without losing control. Even more interesting is the combination of the new bike with Pirelli tires. Toprak openly stated that the 850cc MotoGP bike with Pirelli tires gave him a very similar feel to the World SBK bike he had mastered for years. The more communicative feel of the front tire gave him more confidence when braking hard and carrying high speeds into corners. He also described the test results as very positive, despite the 850cc engine's lower power output than the 1000cc version. And here is the full news. The MotoGP world has been rocked once again by a name that has captured the attention of the entire paddock in recent days. Toprak Razgatlioglu, the rider known for years as the king of World Superbike, suddenly demonstrated a remarkable performance improvement during testing on the Yamaha 850cc V4 engine at the Valencia circuit. Not only was he able to achieve high speeds, but his handling of the bike also appeared much more natural than in previous sessions. Many observers even said this was the first time Toprak had truly integrated into Yamaha's ambitious project for the new era of MotoGP. Questions immediately arose. What exactly had changed? Why was a rider who was previously still trying to understand the characteristics of a MotoGP bike now surprising so many with his lap times? Had Yamaha finally found a solution to the problem that had been hampering their development? Or had Toprak himself successfully changed his riding approach, finally unleashing the bike's full potential? The answer turned out to be far more complex than simply daring to open the throttle earlier or brake harder. Behind this performance improvement is a combination of Yamaha's technical development, Toprak's exceptional adaptation, and the character of the 850cc bike, which turned out to be much more suited to the aggressive riding style that has been the Turkish rider's trademark since the beginning of his career. From the moment Yamaha began the V4 project, they realized that the biggest change wasn't just changing the engine configuration from an inline four-cylinder to a V4. The change altered almost the entire character of the bike, from weight distribution, acceleration, engine braking, to how the rear tire behaved when exiting corners. All of these aspects required refinement that couldn't be accomplished in 1 or 2 testing sessions. In the early stages of development, several Yamaha riders complained that the bike was still too aggressive when power was transferred to the rear wheel. On the other hand, the braking characteristics didn't yet provide the confidence needed for riders to attack corners like a Ducati or KTM. This situation caused Yamaha to lag behind in the development process. However, Valencia presented a different story. As soon as Toprak emerged from the pit lane, the engineers immediately noticed a change in his riding style. He no longer seemed to be forcing the bike to do what he wanted. Instead, the bike seemed to follow his every movement more naturally. These small changes had an immediate impact on every sector. Corner entry speeds increased, changes of direction became quicker, while corner exit acceleration appeared much cleaner, without the loss of traction that had previously been common. Many analysts believe that one of the biggest reasons was Yamaha's success in perfecting the chassis balance. Toprak has long been known as a rider who relies heavily on front-end stability. He always wants to feel the front tire grip the asphalt when braking hard. If the front tire loses even the slightest bit of confidence, Toprak usually immediately reduces speed. In Valencia, this situation appeared to have improved significantly. Yamaha engineers reportedly made various improvements to the bike's geometry, weight distribution, and suspension characteristics to provide a more consistent response when entering corners. The results were immediately visible. Toprak began to use the extreme braking technique that had been his main weapon in World SBK. Furthermore, the changes in the characteristics of the 850 cubic centimeters engine were also a crucial factor. Compared to the previous generation 1000 cubic centimeters engine, the new engine has a smoother power delivery. Although its peak power is slightly lower, this characteristic allows riders to open the throttle earlier without fear of losing control. For Toprak, this is the kind of character he's always needed. He's never been a rider who relies solely on straight-line speed. His main strength has always been his ability to maintain high speed into corners, maintain momentum, and then accelerate faster than his opponents. When the bike begins to adapt to his character, Toprak's natural abilities finally come to light. Another striking aspect is how consistently Toprak maintains his speed. In modern racing, a single fastest lap is crucial, but what's far more crucial is the ability to maintain rhythm throughout a race simulation. According to information from the paddock, Toprak's greatest improvement is seen in his lap time consistency. He's been able to repeatedly set competitive times, demonstrating that his performance isn't just limited to. Whether it was luck or simply the use of new tires, this situation has led many of Yamaha's rivals to take a more serious look at the project. A few months earlier, many believed Yamaha still had a long way to go to catch up with Ducati. However, after seeing the progress in Valencia, that view began to change. Now, there's a growing belief that Yamaha is finally moving in the right direction. Toprak himself appears much more confident every time he returns to the pits. His body language indicates that communication with the technicians is improving. After each lap, he immediately provides very detailed feedback on the bike's behavior in each section of the track. This kind of information is crucial for Yamaha to accelerate development. One of the reasons Toprak is so valuable to Yamaha is his ability to sense subtle changes in the bike.